Who's that girl rocking her 5 to 9 after her 9 to 5? I mean, if you're not wearing an old shirt that used to say Forever Salty or Salty Forever, but you don't remember because it's been so long, and some comfy pants with paint all over them, like, what are you doing? On this particularly stormy night, I decided to get a little creative. I see any number of things in my algorithm, and that's my fault. It knows my tastes. Luckily, a lot of it's crafts, and the other part of it's haunted dolls, and let's just gloss over that. I saw a reel where a group of folks were wearing eye masks, and they were finger painting. And I looked at that and thought, number one, that just sounds fun. Because I like to make a mess when I'm feeling creative. And I think Matt knows where I've been in the house because there's just like a trail of yarn bits and paper cuttings that follows me. I don't know how I do that. I'm just magic, I guess. It's hard work to be this messy. But also, when I'm not being the creative tour de force that I am, I've been doing a lot of introspection. I know, here it comes, right? Surprise. This is where the courage part of Crafted Courage kicks in. I've been feeling this need to develop my inner resilience, I guess you'd call it. My goal is to hear my voice rise above all the noise that we hear in our world, to identify my needs. Because yes, we all have them, even if we pretend we don't. So I've been working on a way to develop that self-reliance, to be grounded in who I am as I am. And well, what better way to hone in on that intuition than to don an eye mask and just literally feel your way through the experiment or craft. We're all mad scientists here. It's all the same. So when I started this first piece, I thought, man, this is a lot of paint. It really felt like it. You're using all of your other senses to guide you, and so you really can't tell how much something truly is unless you could see it. In this case, I couldn't. What it felt like to me was this canvas was surely covered. It had to be, based on how much paint I felt like I had on my hands, surely this thing was gonna be covered top to bottom in color, and it was gonna be an explosion of paint on my canvas. And so when I lifted my eye mask to behold the beauty in front of me, I was like, wow, that is not the amount of paint that I felt I put on this canvas. So it was really interesting and good to know. So if that wasn't what I considered to be enough for the vision that I had in my head, then now I had like a baseline and I knew where to go from there. Round 2, here we go. I'm ready to get in there. I changed up the color palette. I chose something that was kind of risky, so it was all warm colors, orange, yellow, pink, red, and then I threw a purple in there because I just love purple. That's my favorite color, fun fact. I thought this would be like a sunset. That'd be cool. But throwing the purple in there, maybe I would end up with a brown mess, not knowing what I was gonna unveil before my eyes once this was all said and done. It was quite a risk, and I just kept globbing paint on in the way that felt right to me. So I tried to cover the canvas, or what I thought was covering the canvas, doing all different movements and motions that felt good to me, that I thought would be really fun. I was really excited to unveil this piece. It was definitely jarring to me because you'll probably see my reaction when I look at it, because it was like, whoa, that's a lot of red. But it was cool. It was so cool. I enjoyed that experience so much. And while I don't think either of these paintings will be hanging in the Louvre anytime soon, I gained something even better than the potential of fame and fortune. Although I really wouldn't mind maybe just a small fortune, a plot of land, an animal rescue, and an endless supply of tchotchkes and trinkets. Is that too much for a girly to ask? In our daily lives, there's so much input. There's notifications, there's emails, there's texts, there's carrier pigeons, there's chatter and noise. Instead of being pulled into the whirlwind of distraction, In this moment, I was just free to explore wherever I wanted to go, and choosing any direction and following it through made me more comfortable taking the reins in the face of uncertainty. I put myself in the spotlight, and I gave myself the mic, and I said, hey, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? My inner voice grew a little louder that day. When we take the time to hear ourselves, we can start to feel the settling peace of alignment. We can know without question that our actions come from the truth of who we are, not from the many other sources of noise that we have to contend with on a day-to-day basis. Being the most authentic version of you is what makes the world a better place. And yes, that is super cheesy, but that's just who I am. I'm extra. I'm over the top, baby. I'm over the moon even. And the moon is made of cheese. It all comes back to cheese. But let's get out of this deliciously cheesy orbit and get back to what really matters. Now picture this. You being the most you that you can be, the most you that ever was. Now you inspire others to do the same. And when that tension of holding on to something that you're not melts away, you approach yourself and others with a whole heart and a lot more kindness. Now, if you ask me, that ain't half bad. As always, brave explorers, take care of yourself. Be a light. And when curiosity comes knocking, I hope you'll answer the door. Until next time.